services, I would say that even Netflix or Amazon Prime are probably the most popular, the go-tos for most people looking to watch something in the comfort of their own home. And since people love a good old spooky film, we've decided to help you guys out by suggesting you 10 films to check out that are currently available. But before we begin, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. At no extra cost to you, every new sub helps us achieve our goal and keeps us motivated to create new content with you in mind. With that being said, I am your host Sarah, and here are 10 best horror films on Netflix right now. Enjoy. Number 1. Fear Street Trilogy. Netflix dropped its first Fear Street trilogy in the summer of 2021, and it won over fans and critics alike. It was quite an impressive achievement as all three were shot back to back and then released weekly. Although anyone familiar with old school TV show releases knows what it's like to wait a whole week for a new episode. But these were full-blown films. Although the Fear Street trilogy contains 3 separate films, they are quite interlocked, so the entire saga feels more like a mini-series. Not that I'm complaining. Fear Street is an iconic young adult book series written by children's horror maestro R.L. Stine. Stine is a Guinness World Record holder for the best-selling children's books, Goosebumps. Oh, I loved them. I have Stine and his engaging Goosebumps series largely to thank for the love of horror. When it comes to Fear Street, I read 1 or 2 when I was younger, and they were just too scary for me. But look at me now, I feel nothing. At any rate, the Fear Street trilogy follows the brutal killings in the fiction town of Shadyside during different decades. Each film takes place in different decades and actors and characters overlap. Each film also is a homage of takes inspirations from popular horror of said decade. Netflix's own The Fear Street trilogy will always be one of the best things currently on Netflix, which is where you can watch it today. Number 2. The Babysitter. Samara Weaving plays a titular babysitter in 2017's surprise streaming hit, The Babysitter. Weaving has become quite the screen queen thanks to leading roles in films as well as 2019's thriller dark comedy Ready or Not. In The Babysitter, Weaving plays the sweet, charming and long-time babysitter of now high school boy Cole. One night he witnesses her and a bunch of her friends play spin the bottle, only to discover it's a part of some demonic ritual and B is part of a murderous satanic cult. The film is a stylish horror comedy with plenty of over-the-top gore and gut-busting laughs. If director MCG is known for anything, it's style, as he brought the beloved Charlie's Angels to the big screen in 2000. Samara Weaving is truly a silver screen gem of an actress, as she absolutely lights up scenes with her devilish performance. Writer Brian Duffield would continue to make a name in horror, as he would write the critically acclaimed film, 2020's fantastic romantic monster film Love and Monsters, as well as the Kristen Stewart-led Underwater. Catch The Babysitter on Netflix now. Number 3. The Platform. First, I am sorry if I make any mistakes in the pronunciation of these beautiful names. Spanish filmmaker Golda Gastal Arusha made his debut feature with the sci-fi dystopian The Platform, and I haven't seen a more accurate allegory for classism and capitalistic greed. The film revolves around a prison complex with over 200 levels. Goreng wakes up on level 47, sharing his cell with an inmate, Trimagasi. He explains to the new cellmate that a platform descends from the top level with enough food to feed each prisoner on each level. The problem is the prisoners on each level despise those above them and resent those below them, even though any day any of them could wake up on a different level. By the time the platform of food gets to lower levels, the food is all gone. Golda Gastel Arusha certainly came out the gate hard with this scathing indictment of capitalism, and taut script, stellar direction, and horrifying topical themes certainly elevate the platform. Angareng is the idealist audiences should root for, as he is played sympathetically by Ivan Masagwe Horta. Horta is a student of theatre whose 20-plus year resume includes plays, TV series, and films. The platform premiered at Toronto International Film Festival in 2019. During the film's time at the festival, it would earn the award People's Choice Award for Midnight Madness, as well as secure a streaming deal with Netflix. This would prove to be a smart decision for both the filmmakers and the streaming giant, as the platform would be watched by 56 million viewers during its first 4 weeks of streaming. Wow, that's mad. It was such a smash hit and critical darling, it would even garner a sequel. Platform is essential viewing that you can now watch on Netflix. Number 4. Gerald's Game. Premier horror director Mike Flanagan surprised audiences with his 2017 adaptation of Stephen King's 1992 novel Gerald's Game. The film is truly taut and tense adaptation of a book once thought to be unfilmable. Flanagan had already impressed horror fans and critics alike with the poignant supernatural film Oculus, as well as his suspenseful and creative home invasion flick Hush. He also made a brilliant prequel to the subpar Ouija film. In Gerald's Game, married couple Jesse and Gerald are looking to spice up their sex life, so they decide to partake in a rape fantasy that involves Jesse being tied to the bed. You're probably starting to understand why this was considered unfilmable. Gerald suffers a heart attack and Jesse remains very securely tied to the bed. Gerald's Game doesn't just require a skilled hand at direction, but for the actress that plays Jesse to have an on-screen presence as well as the ability to carry a film. Luckily, the understated actress Carla Gugino succeeded with flying colours. Gugino is primarily known for playing prominent roles in various hits and well-received films like Spy Kids, Sin City and Watchmen. Gerald's Game's narrative is executed with superb as the twists and suspenses that are doled out brilliantly. So play Gerald's Game on Netflix. I kept wanting to say Geralt because of Geralt of Rivia. Number 5. Bird Box. Upon its streaming release, Bird Box was an immediate phenomenon. Not only did it debut with Netflix's biggest viewership numbers, but also set fire to the internet with a deluge of memes. In its first 4 weeks, it received 282 million hours of views. Bird Box actually premiered at the American Film Festival about a month prior to its Netflix debut. It also had a limited theatrical release a week before it first streamed. Bird Box is an adaptation of Josh Malerman's 2014 novel by the same name. The film follows Mallory Hoy, a pregnant woman in the world where mass suicides have become an epidemic. There is an entity that when a person sees it, it does something to them mentally that triggers them to commit suicide. Bird Box has a solid production and a nerve-wracking atmosphere buoyed by Academy Award-winning composers Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I hope I pronounced that right. But the film absolutely hinges on the lead performance. Luckily for audiences, the lead is Academy Award-winning actress Sandra Bullock. One of the many great things about Bullock is that she is as great of a comedic actress as she is a dramatic one. And not only that, but she also has immense screen presence, as well as the ability to provoke pathos. We relate to her and we root for her, so witness Bird Box only on Netflix. If you are enjoying the video so far, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Number 6. Her techno thriller Cam premiered on Fantasia on July the 18th, 2018, before it debuted on Netflix on November the 16th of the same year. Fantasia is a film festival in Montreal, Canada that advocates for independent films. Cam was met with positive critical reception and currently stands at 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, or Rotten Tomatoes. Cam revolves around a cam girl, Alice Walker, who posts on the site called Free Girls Live under the handle Lola_Lola. Things take a turn for the worse when she can no longer access her account. It's been usurped by a doppelganger as her identity has been stolen. Screenwriter Isa Mazzy incorporated some of her own real experiences as the cam girl into Cam, and that certainly added authenticity to the film. At the end of the day, sex work is real work. Mazzy also published a memoir called Cam Girl the following year. Madeleine Brewer was also lauded for her performance as Alice and her doppelganger Lola. The film certainly taps into many modern digital age fears, including identity theft, which I've had to deal with as well, but got it sorted out before too much damage was done. Cam also reflects how our own lives are split between reality and an online persona. I'm a real fan of the colour palette for this film and the part it plays. The striking purples and pinks invoke sensuality and surrealism, only emphasising the blurring between reality and persona. So stream Cam on Netflix now. Number 7. His House. His House premiered at Sundance in January of 2020 and was subsequently released on Netflix in October of the same year. The film follows a couple who are Sudanese refugees that have been accepted for asylum in a small town in England. The refugees, Bol and Real, have to acclimate to their new abode and environment. His House really speaks to the grief and loss in diaspora. Writer-director Remy Weeks certainly made quite the impression with his debut film that viscerally reflects the horrors faced by refugees. Not only would His House earn a nomination for Best Picture at the British Independent Film Awards, but Weeks would snag an award for Best Director as well. Also, I have to note that the 11th Doctor, played by Matt Smith, plays the landlord instead of a Time Lord for the refugees in this film. His House manifests the refugee experience into a terrifying haunted house drama. And I'm sorry if I pronounce these wrong, but Wunmi Musaku and Sopa Dirisu, who play the main characters, deliver poignant performances. Musaku would even nab a nomination for the BAFTA Awards for her performance as Ryle, so check His House out on Netflix now. Number 8. The Ritual. British horror mystery film The Ritual premiered at Toronto International Film Festival in October of 2017 before its UK release. The film is also labelled under supernatural psychological folk horror, which is intriguing, right? Also, once you watch The Ritual, all those general labels are quite apparent. Anyway, Netflix distributed the film and it made its streaming debut in February 2018. The Ritual is based on the 2011 novel of the same name by English horror writer Adam Neville. The film follows a group of friends who go hiking in Sarek National Park in Sweden while on holiday. As someone from the US, I don't understand the concept of being allowed to take a vacation. Oh, I love it. Regardless, the group of friends are taking a trip to honour a fallen friend. If the lead actor, Raphael Spall, looks familiar, he also stars in 2018's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, playing as the backstabbing prick Eli Mills. Good actor though. Moving on, The Ritual rests on a commendable 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, when its critical consensus stating director David Bruckner makes evocative use of the Scandinavian settings and a dedicated cast to deliver a handsome, if familiar, horror story. The haunting score and eerie atmosphere certainly enhance the film's underlying horrificness. The ritual's opening really hooks you in too. In the words of LeVar Burton, you don't have to take my word for it. Check it out yourself on Netflix. Wow, my brain just went completely blank on that one word. Oh, sorry about that. I was like, what am I pronouncing? Number 9, Creep. Blumhouse has made a name for itself with some of the most popular and best horror films throughout the 2010s. This includes Sinister, Insidious, Get Out, and 2018's Halloween, all incredible films. Prolific horror producer Jason Blum also has plenty of smaller gems through his production company, which includes the unsettling 2014 film Creep. And it was streaming giant Netflix that ultimately gave Creep its life and longevity. The film did premiere at South by Southwest in March of 2014, but wasn't available on demand until June of 2015. However, it first streamed on Netflix less than a month later. Creep is a found footage film and it follows a videographer in need of work, Erin, who accepts a Craigslist ad from Joseph. Joseph is dying from a brain tumour and wants to make a video diary for his unborn son. Erin is actually played by the director of the film, Patrick Bryce, while Joseph is played by Mark Duplass, who helped conceive the story with Bryce. Creep was allegedly conceived through conversations the two had had together. Most of the film is improvised, as the two even created quite a few alternative scenes. Duplass is absolutely brilliant in the film, as he definitely evokes sympathy despite his eccentricities. And when he starts acting strange, the audience can chalk it up to the brain tumour. The found footage elements are utilised effectively to create a sense of unease. Make sure you catch this Creep on Netflix. Last but not least is number 10, Scream 6. This is one of the only films on the list that isn't a Netflix exclusive, but it is a surprisingly good entry in one of the most influential and enduring franchises, Scream. In 2023, directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett returned to helm their direct follow-up to Scream 2022, aka Scream 5. Ghostface is back and he is nastier than ever, with ruthless intent to kill the Carpenter sisters and anyone else who gets in the way. Scream 6 proudly embraces that it is part of a franchise and greatly rewards those who have invested into it. That doesn't stop it from exploring new ideas and breaking new ground though. While the Screams franchise has always been a meta-analysis of horror film tropes and critiques of the genre, with every sequel it becomes a more meta-analysis of its own legacy. Scream 6 is the most suspenseful in the series, an impressive feat, while retaining its signature humour and wit. The script is exceptionally sharp. The iteration of Ghost is the most violent in arguably the scariest Scream film yet. The ensemble is fantastic and all of the returning cast have truly embraced their roles and further fleshed out their characters. And Hayden Panettiere gives it all, reprising her role as the beloved Kirby Reed from Scream 4. The new cast, even with some limited characterization, gives enthusiastic and natural performances. All actions from the past have consequences in the present, and Ghostface acts as a literal representation of the metaphorical ghost, and that continues to have a motif on Scream 6. The film conveys how the survivors of past films cope in various ways with the trauma they have experienced, and continue to experience. Many slasher films are orchestrated around creative kills and the characters become more like props. The deaths, while often creative and even brutal, are built up for a well-constructed dramatic sequence. Even characters that aren't around long demonstrate shades of the dynamic characters in these scenes. Scream 6 also addresses some topical issues, like how conspiracy theories thrive, the nefariousness of those who perpetrate them, and the fickleness of those who believe them. Catch it on Netflix now. Thank you for checking out the video. Did we leave any films off the list? Please let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to tap that bell icon to stay up to date with all our latest releases. You can reach out to us at Twitter, also known as X, at StudioFat, or chat with us on Discord, which will be linked below in the description. And make sure to head over to the fatninja.shop to check out all our latest merch. Every purchase helps keeps the light on, so we greatly appreciate it. I have been your host, Sarah. Once you check in, you might not check out. Take care.